This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, good morning all. Hope
Hey,
I'm
Rejan,
audible.
I have a couple of hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, I have a couple of questions on some of the queries that we are using. Okay, can you
Mhm.
open like read entity set? Any of the
Okay.
product or this one, anything would be fine.
Okay. Okay.
Get entity. Okay, so in this case, we are assuming this is the key field. So that means I need to send only key field every time, or like do I need to get like pass any other field? Assuming that maybe
See,
if you go
once
to the
again,
table, mm-hmm,
once again. If the read method purpose itself is to bring single record by passing the key field. Okay. Understand? So you need
so
to pass
suppose,
only the
okay,
key
got
field.
it, got it. Okay, got it. What I'm saying is, suppose there is a requirement for me, uh, the key field is maybe a product ID, okay? But I want to get one record where the product is something which is not the key field, okay? Even though
That
there are
is
multiple records.
that is why we have get entity set, right? You pass whatever the filter you
No, no, no,
want.
no. I want to get entity set will give you like multiple entries. I don't want multiple entries. Only I will fetch the first record from the table, so up to one row. You know the concept, right?
Coming in.
Up to one rows in SAP you have a select query where you can use get so and so because you're not passing the primary key. You can say up to one rows, so that means it fetches only one record.
Okay, up to.
Okay, one rows. Go to the table like maybe the product set table. Okay, go to the table.
That's okay. That's okay. Okay. So you tell me. I will clarify your doubt. Okay.
What I'm saying is, okay, I don't want to use the primary key ideally. Okay,
Okay.
but I want to
Hmm.
fetch a record from the table by using a non-primary key data only
Hmm.
for first record. Okay, if you put a uh, Uh, go to the table. I will tell you. I want to see the result.
Okay. In the
Just open
first
the.
record, see. Okay. Let me go to the table.
Mhm.
Okay. Tell me.
Okay. Okay. This is a product. Okay. I want to use a product description. I want to fetch some data using a product description. Okay.
So basically, you want to, from the record, you want to take some column, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so see, you will be fetching that record in the front end, and in the front end, you can take whatever the column you want. Okay,
Okay.
so
Type
understand
the query. Yeah.
the OData layer will help you to send this entire record to the front end, and in the front end, you will take whatever the
Mhm.
column you want. Understand?
Okay.
Okay, for
Oh, whatever the
example, price
column.
greater than
Okay.
10,000.
But it is dynamic, right?
Yeah, whatever. See, the entire record will go to the front end. There, whatever the record you want, you can, whatever the column you want, you can display that column. Understood.
Okay. Okay. You're saying we need to read it and find out whether it is a key or non-key. Then only you can make a select query. That's what you're saying.
No, what I'm saying is, see,
Mm-hmm.
your OData framework, this is the universal OData framework. The OData framework
Mm-hmm.
is designed in such a way with 5 operations: create, read, update, delete, and query. Not only in SAP, even in .NET, if you develop OData, you need to develop with 5 operations only. Even in go to
Correct.
PHP, if you are developing
Mm-hmm.
OData, you have to develop by keeping this framework only, because OData is not SAP's protocol. OData is a universal protocol.
Okay. Okay.
Whoever
No.
exposing the data through OData, they have to expose the data like this only. Okay.
Okay.
So what I'm saying
Okay.
is,
If you use a
yeah,
non-primary key,
let me
what
tell
happens?
you. Yeah, if see, if you want only one record by passing the primary key, it is your responsibility to send only the primary key that will call get entity. If you want any non-primary keys, so depending on the filter that you are passing here, if it is single record, it will fetch single record. If it is not a single record, then it will say, if it is multiple records, it sends multiple records. For example, if I give product ID here, PRD ID space equal to, for example, product 001, then it gives one record only, because the filter, basing on the filter that you have passed, how many records are there in the backend, it gives those many records. If it is one record, it sends one record. If it is multiple records, it sends multiple records. Understand? Okay. See, in by using this question mark dollar filter, you can pass a primary key, non-primary key, whatever you want. Okay, so the result will be sent to the front end. Now once the result is sent to the front end, whatever you want to display, you will display. Okay,
Can you try product ID? Go to the table, product set.
I still did not understand what you are trying to ask.
Yeah,
Actually,
I'll show you what I'm looking. Okay, just go to the table,
okay,
product set table. Okay, so okay. Product name. Okay, type product name.
okay,
Execute. Okay,
uh-huh.
don't use filter. Okay, PRD name mobile.
Okay.
Yeah, try that. What happens?
Try means what? What do you want me to do? That I did not.
Go to the query, type product
Okay,
name, PRD name.
product name equal to mobile. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Don't use
Okay,
filter.
okay.
Go. Okay. If you put a product set.
Okay, you
bracket,
mean to say
colon,
within the round brackets you want me to
yeah,
pass this
yeah,
this one? Okay.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Okay, this is not one segment products.
So you don't accept
Okay.
any non-primary key actually.
Oh, okay, that's what I'm looking. Okay, got it. So that means you need to pass this one. Okay, if at all you want to drive something, you need to go to result set only, or maybe you need to implement. You need to read dynamically. Maybe put a breakpoint in the ODATA for this read method.
Prasad, these are the things which you need to try actually. Okay, you should not, this is about to start the class actually. You can ask doubts, not a problem. See, these trial and errors are something which you are, see, how the OData protocol behaves, that is something which, I already told you. So if in place of, I understand that in place of removing this one and keep, if you want to keep something, so you can just try, that won't give you data actually. Okay, because it is not a primary key actually.
Okay.
Okay, so you can just go and try it. Okay, it won't that, because it compares with the primary key. 1 second.
Okay. That's what I wanted to know. Only primary key. That's all.
Yeah, only primary key. So you need to give primary key definitely. Okay,
Suppose
so
you have two fields as a primary key, then how
yeah,
do you
two
pass the
fields.
data?
Yeah. That's a valid question. Okay, that you can ask. So you need to pass like this. So PRD ID equal to PRD001. Okay, put a comma and write whatever the other field. For example, supplier ID, SUP ID equal to SUP001. Okay, so this will go and call the get entity of your, and here in, for example, your supplier set is having two primary keys. Okay, so this will go and call supplier set get entity, not implemented in the data provider class. Okay.
Okay.
So see, within the round brackets, if you are keeping primary key only, then only it will go and call the method. Okay.
Okay, got it.
That is something your OData protocol will accept. First of all, the OData protocol has that standard. Forget about your SAP OData framework. Okay. Your OData protocol itself was designed in such a way, which has to be followed by every technology. If you are developing the OData in SAP, you need to, you need to adhere to those OData principles. If you are developing in .NET, you need to adhere to the OData principles. So similarly in Java also we develop OData. Okay.
Okay.
So everybody has to adhere to those principles only. It's not something like you can you can put something and it will, it will accept. No.
Okay. Okay. So primary, whatever you pass, it doesn't matter. Only thing is the method what you implement is matters.
Yeah, see, basically, Prasad, first thing is you already, in read if itself, the OData framework has given two things for you. One is to read a single record. It is asking to pass the primary key. If it is a non-primary key also or primary key also, it has given the facility question mark dollar filter. So what else you want? Are you getting my point?
No. There are like okay, maybe okay. So the ABAP paradigm like is different. Sometimes like passing a non-primary key, you get only one record. Okay, it's not
Yeah,
necessary that you
that's
pull
what
every
that's what
record.
boss that's what see
Uh-huh.
that's what question mark dollar filter. For example, I'm writing product name equal to mobile. Okay, you want a product name with mobile. Right here, you will get one record only. You have the facility here, right? See, you are getting one record.
Okay. If you have two
See,
records, then
yeah, if you have two records with that product name, you will get two records.
that's what I'm saying. Okay, so that means this won't
See,
prevent. Okay, yeah, understand what I'm
basically the
saying.
data. See, when you are querying the data, as per your, as per the query, whatever the number of records are there, so it will give. Even in your table, also in the product name, if I give mobile, and if there are two records, it will give two records. It won't give one record, right?
Okay, I need to implement the method to pass what based. Okay, got it. Like okay, filter means like
See,
okay.
I really, surprised with your still your confusion actually. I don't understand
No.
what do you want to
My
convey
co
actually.
no. What I'm saying is to implement these methods based on the URL. That is my question. Okay, I do understand that. Okay, when should I know? If you're saying filter, okay, so that means as soon as a filter comes in the URL, it goes to
Get entity
result
set method.
get into set method, right? Okay,
Correct.
then okay, that's what I'm looking. Okay, so filter means that. Okay, if it is primary key only, this method you cannot do multiple things. Okay, got it.
Okay, fine, guys. We'll start our session. Okay. So in today's class, we are going to see how you can, implement the file upload and download functionality. So the file upload and download will test it from the SAP UI5 application. So in today's class, we are just going to implement the methods and keep it ready. And from the front-end application, we use a file uploader UI element using which you can browse and select the files. Okay, so you can select any file, doesn't matter. It can be a picture, it can be a PDF, it can be a Excel, it can be anything, basically it doesn't matter. So you can just upload, and so in the so that data will come to the backend SAP gateway layer in the form of binary string. Okay, so like a hexadecimal string kind of. So it will we need to write the logic to save it in our table in the form of a in the same binary format, basically in a hexadecimal string, basically. So which is here we having a data element called x string val. Okay, so in that form we will be storing. So similarly, while downloading, so we need to send that hexadecimal string to the front end. Okay, so that is how you need to understand how this file upload and download will happen. Okay, so for that, I'm just going to create another table. So this is also very easy, guys, because most of the thing is handled by your OData framework itself. Okay, so here I just documented the steps for you so that you can easily do this. So I'm going to create another table. So let me create a table with the name zbatch44 underscore profile. Okay, I think this table is already there or not. Let me try. Okay, table is not there. Let's create. Okay, so I'm just taking with the example of employee ID. So one primary key must be there. So primary key employee ID. So let me take some char 6. Okay, and then so in a table that you are creating for a file upload and download, 3 fields must and should be there. Sorry, 4 fields must and should be there. So one is primary key, needless to say. Okay, needless to say that one primary key should be there. And the other 3 fields that you must and should keep are file name, file type, and file content. I'm repeating once again: file name, file type, and file content. So these 3 are must and should be present in the table that you want to, in which you want to store. Must and should. Okay, right. So sometimes the file type, you can also just give the field name like a MIME type. So MIME type or file type, so both are same. So normally we give like a MIME type. So it's up to you. So whatever the name you want to give. Okay, so I'm giving file name. File name. Let me give some character, some 100, or you can give 200 also, because some file names may have very lengthy names. Okay, and so I'm just taking MIME type. So MIME type is just the file type. You doesn't need these many characters actually. Okay, so just dot PDF or whatever. Okay, dot XLS, dot docs, dot image, dot JPG, dot PNG, dot GIF, something like that. Okay, and last content, that is file content basically. So this content, let me use a date x string val actually. Okay, so this is the data type that you need to use for storing the file content. Okay. So activating the table. That's fine, just warnings. So the table is active. Now, so once your table is active, so let's create one more entity in the SAP gateway layer. My SCGW is ready? No. Okay, so I'll just go back. Sorry, one more step I went. Yeah. So let me create one more entity here. Let me, one second. Select the project, go to the edit mode first. So I'm giving the entity name as profile, and ABAP structure I'm giving. So what is our table name? So what is the table name I have given, guys? I think profile tab something. The profile tab. Okay, so that is the table. I'll just check the table. Yeah, the profile tab, that's correct. So click next and select the fields that you want to expose. Click next, select the primary key for the OData layer. So you have selected employee ID as a primary key here, and click finish. Okay. Right, now you created a new entity called profile. So whenever you change your OData project, so with new entities and all, so then you need to just generate the runtime objects. So remember to generate the runtime objects whenever these kind of changes occur. Okay. All right. Now, if you go to the metadata of your document, so if you go to $metadata, and if you come down, so you can see the profile entity as well. So you can see here. So it's a new entity that you have created just now, and it is reflecting in the metadata document also. Right?
What is metadata in the sense? Metadata means.
See, metadata means data about data. So means whatever the service that you have generated. So for that particular service, so means whatever the development that you have done. Okay, so that entire thing, it will be that entire information. So it is giving like a document, and that is metadata. Okay. So whatever the development that you have done, you created three entity sets, and you created a navigation property. Okay, so then entire summary, so it gives in a document, and this metadata, by looking at the metadata document only, the front-end developer will understand. So what you have done in the backend. Okay, so this is very, very important.
Okay.
Okay, actually, this is the question that you should ask me when we have shown this metadata document in the first day. Okay.
Okay.
Fine. So we got this products, profile, supplier. Fine. So now, once you got the profile entity that you have imported, now let's see the next steps. So basically, the next steps are you need to write the code for file upload and file download. The file upload and file download, uh, the implementation for these two will have two specific methods in the data provider class, which your OData framework, SAP Gateway framework has been given. Okay, so what are those? What are those special methods? Okay, so just like create deep insert, which is a special method. So we have one is called create stream, and another is called get stream. So create stream is a data provider class method, so which is used for file upload functionality, and get stream is a method which we use for file download functionality. And these two methods will also provide you some, some OData parameters using which you can easily get the data, and you can perform your activity. That is, you can read the data and store it into those tables. Okay, for file upload as well as for file download also, the OData framework is helping you mostly, and you are doing only a 5% of the job. Okay, so 90% of the job is done by the OData framework itself. So like whatever the binary content that is coming from the front end, so that also OData framework only will receive and give you in a OData parameter. You just need to take that OData parameter and insert into your tables. Okay, so OData framework in every technology was very powerful, so that the developer just need to concentrate only on his essential things. The rest of the things will be taken care by the framework. Okay, right. But it is also having the prerequisites, just like the create deep insert we have seen in the last class. So this is also having some prerequisites.
What the
Okay.
get stream will do. Get stream.
What's your question?
What the get stream will do.
Getstream will do. Is it a question or you are saying something?
You told that create stream it will upload from the front end to the back end, and what the
Okay.
get stream will do.
It will help for the file download. So whenever you want to download the file, so you'll write the code
From
in
back end
Get.
to the front end, right?
Exactly. Right. Right. Okay. So something like create deep insert. So this is also having a little prerequisite steps. Okay. So what is our prerequisite step number 1? So first of all, you need to go to this entity. Okay, so entity, go to the entity, profile entity. And here you need to select two checkboxes. 1 second. Let me go to the entity set once. This is okay. Let me go to the okay, right. So here for this particular profile entity, you need to check this thing and media. These two checkboxes has to be checked. This is a must and should prerequisite. So why we are checking these two checkboxes and what it indicates? Whatever the entity which is through which you are sending the file, okay, for file upload and download, from the front end you need to trigger a URL. So for file upload or file download, do you know what is the URL that we trigger? So we trigger like this, /profile set. Okay, so you will trigger like this, profile set. Okay, so the profile set is associated with the entity profile. Okay, so any entity set and entity type both will be associated. Okay, so both are, then when you hit entity set, basically it points to the fields of entity type. Okay, right. So basically what I am saying, when you hit this particular URL, and uh, and we will upload the file, and then we will hit this URL from the front end application. So this particular file upload process is happening through this entity. The file upload process is happening through this entity. The OData framework, if it has to accept any MIME related, means photos, so basically any documents, okay, so MIME related things for that particular entity, until unless you check these two check boxes, first it won't carry the data to the backend at all. Okay, so first of all you need to check these two checkboxes for that particular entity to indicate that this is the entity which will carry the files to the backend and download the files as well through this entity only. Even if you want to download, you will use this URL. Okay, understand? So you need to check these two checkboxes. So this is your primary prerequisite step. Okay, next. The next
Does
prerequisite
it
step is
does it created service implementations too?
no. It won't create a service implementation. Service implementations.
Oh,
So basically, this until unless you, for example, I did not check this checkbox, and from the front end application. So if I am using this URL, so it won't accept any mime content. Basically, means even you upload the file will not go.
my question is when we use the other tables like the DPC, MPC classes has been created, right?
Okay.
Same has been created for this section too, or is it something different than regular tables?
Those classes will be created for this one also, but we don't use them. Okay. So
Okay, that's
we don't
okay.
use them because our purpose is uh, to store the file and to download the file. So we don't use those other whatever the general methods that gets created. Okay.
Okay.
So yes, they gets created, but we don't use them. Okay. So we use these two. Okay. So we use create stream and get stream.
Got it.
Yeah. Okay. So now let's go to our
I have a question.
runtime artifacts. Yeah. Go ahead.
We'll do in both file upload and download from application server as well as presentation server. Presentations from local, whereas application server in the sense remote server.
Come again with your question.
Whether we will do the file upload and download from application server and the presentation server. Presentation server in the sense from the local system, from where you are working, and whereas application server in the sense from other domain, other server.
See, whatever the server, it has to implement this one. Okay. Whatever the code that you're writing, so you are already, this is a application, this is your this is your application layer only. So this will contact your database, and from the database, the processing, everything, whatever the queries you have written, so those will be applied on the database. So from the front end, whatever the file upload that you will be doing, so it will reach gateway layer first. So in the gateway layer, it will be accepted and it will be redirected to those methods. And in the methods, whatever the code that you have written, so basing on that, so it will process on the database, and they get stored on this database. Understood?
Okay.
Okay, so this is the create stream method, so which we need to redefine. And similarly, we have another called get stream. So there we need to write the code. We'll write the code, but before that we have another prerequisite. And the other prerequisite is, so we need to go to the model provider extension class. Okay, and in the model provider extension class, go to the methods, and in the define method, which we have already redefined yesterday. So we also need to do one more step here. Okay, just like the way you have done for the create deep insert. So we don't need to create any new structure and all, but so we need to tell to the gateway layer. So what is the property in this particular profile entity? So in this profile entity, what is the property which is storing the file type? Okay. So the file type will be stored in this particular, the property called MIME type. So this has to be informed to the gateway layer. Okay, so this particular step we are going to do now. So what we will do, by using our previous data type LO underscore entity type, okay, we will be pointing to this particular profile entity. And inside, once you get hold of this profile entity is having how many properties? Employee ID, file name, MIME type, content. So out of these four, what is the property that is storing your file type? The property that is storing the file type is MIME type. Okay, so this particular property you need to set as a MIME type. Okay, so this is again one of the mandatory step. So for that, so again we need to first go to the model provider extension class. Okay, so this tip has been documented here. Now let's go to our class, model provider class. So what I will do, I will just reuse this one. LO entity type dot get entity type method I am using. And the way you have pointed out to the products entity, similarly, I am pointing to the profile entity. Okay, copy the profile entity. Understand? So I pointed out to the profile entity. Now, inside the profile entity, what is the property which is storing your file type? MIME type is the property name. Okay, so that property you need to set as a MIME type. Okay, so let me write these two statements. Right. Now, by using this LO entity type, okay, 1 second, LO entity type dot get property. Okay, so watch the statement that I'm showing. LO entity type, which is this one. LO entity type is pointing to profile. So LO entity type dot get property means from this profile entity, you are getting a property. And what is your property name? MIME type. Okay, that means I am pointing to this one. I am pointing to this property. Okay, now you need to store this property also in a variable. So I stored that property also in a variable LO underscore property, but I need to define in the data declaration. I will do that. Let us understand the next statement. LO property dot set as content type. So you need to set that as a content type. Okay, so basically you need to understand that whatever the entity that you have created, right, for file upload and download purpose, the prerequisite step number 1 is you need to go to that entity and you need to check two checkboxes. So one is thing and another one is media. Okay, so those two checkboxes has to be checked. Fine. Next is, so next step is in that particular entity, whatever the property that you have defined to store the content type, okay, that is the file type. So that has to be explicitly stated in this particular model provider class by using set as content type for that particular property. Okay, so if you understand, if you look at these statements, very simple statements. So you are getting the entity type profile, storing it in a variable, and from this variable get property means from the entity I am getting the property. The property name is MIME type. This is my property, and property dot set as content type. You are setting that property as a content type. Okay. That's it. But LO underscore property has not been defined. So the way you have defined LO underscore entity type, so similarly you need to define LO underscore property. Okay. So LO underscore property is this. This is LO underscore property. Okay. So this is the prerequisite number 2. So that's it. Now you can go ahead and write your code in a create create stream and get stream. So object got activated. Now go back. So again, go back, open your DPC extension class. Okay, so first we'll write the code for file upload. Okay, so we'll write the code for the file upload, that is this one. So very simple, guys. If you understand the concept, first I will explain the concept, how it goes. So the concept will be very simple. Right. So from the front end, what are the things that you are sending? So if you understand them, how to keep them in our table, so that becomes very easy. Okay. So you are sending a file, employee ID, and next you are sending file name, and then you are sending file type, and what else you are sending? So you are sending file content. Okay, so these are the 4 things that you are sending from the front end. Okay, so once again I am showing you employee ID. This is employee ID. You are sending file name. So file name. You will send MIME type. Okay, let me write MIME type only, or file type, anything is just a name, it doesn't matter. And file content. So we have given this as content. Okay, so these 4 things you are sending from the front end. Then you need to understand how you can get it in the backend. So once you get these 4 in your hand, can't you insert this in the table? Let's say you got all of them in a local structure, so which is of type your table. Okay, so can't you insert this in the table? So it's simple. So insert your table from that local structure. Okay, but getting these values in the backend is what is important. Okay, so in getting these values in the backend, again, your OData framework will help you a lot. You just need to understand your OData parameters, get the data and store it into the tables. Okay, right. Unlike your create entity, this particular this particular method will not have IO data provider underscore read entry data method. So if you observe in the OData parameters, you don't have IO data provider object. If you go to the create entity, there you have IO data provider using which you can read the entry data, right? IO data provider hyphen read entry data method. Okay, but unfortunately, so that method will not be available in the create stream. Now immediately your next question should be, then Rizwan, how will you receive this data? Okay, so this data will be received in this way. Okay, so SAP has provided a slug parameter. Okay, so if you see this one, importing variable underscore slug, so which is of type string. So it is a string variable. It is a string variable. So in this particular string variable, you can pass any number of data separated by comma. And once you get the data in your gateway layer, you need to split the data by wherever comma is there. You need to split the data and tick. Okay. So here, except MIME type and content, except the MIME type and content, the remaining fields. So in our case, we have only two remaining fields. So these two remaining fields has to be sent through slug parameter. So I'm repeating once again. You can send any number of fields through the select parameters. It is a string variable and it is comma separated values you need to send. Okay, but you no need to send the MIME type and content. So I will tell you how the MIME type and content will reach your backend. Okay, we will reach your gateway layer. Right. So here through slug parameter, so which is iv underscore slug. Okay, so I will be sending my employee ID, comma, file name. Okay, so I will be separating the employee ID and file name, and I will send to the front end. Example, product, or for example, emp001, comma, okay, file name, for example, ris.jpg. Okay, so I will send like this. Now this data will reach to the backend in this iv underscore slug parameter. So it's a string variable. So it comes as it is with comma separated values. And now you know the split function in ABAP, split. So using the split, you separate employee ID and separate your file name. Now you got two values. Okay. So if you can get the remaining two values, now you can write your insert statement. Okay. So how can you get the remaining two values? The ODATA framework automatically bring this particular MIME type and the content automatically into this particular ODATA parameter called IS media resource. IS media resource. Okay. So your file content, entire binary content of the file, so will be automatically come and sit in this variable, and the file type will also be come and sit in this particular variable. So the remaining two values you need to collect from, these two values you need to collect from IS media resource. Now you got all the four values. Keep those four values in the structure, which is of type your table. Okay, and what else you want? Write the insert statement. This is the concept. Okay, so that's what we are going to write now. Okay. One second. No. This is not for. I think I copied a wrong one. This is for file download. Sorry. I need to copy it for the file upload. Right. Okay. So don't see the data declaration first. First see your concept here. So the first two fields, so as we discussed, so what are the first two fields? Employee ID and file name. So these two will come in iv underscore select parameter. Okay, with comma separated values from the front end. What you need to do then? You need to split those values. You need to split iv underscore slug at comma and take it in different variables. So this is for employee ID and this is for file name. Got it? Okay, next. So I defined a local structure ls underscore file, so which is of type. So if you see this one, z profile tab, our table only. That means ls underscore file data can store one record of your table. So what I'm doing, ls file data hyphen employee id. So I'm storing it from iv underscore id. I'm getting it from iv underscore id. ls file data hyphen file name. So I already got my file name. So once I split it into two variables, so this is storing id, this is storing name. So I stored the employee and an employee name into my structure over. Now, what else I need? So in my structure, I want the content in this structure. I want the MIME type. Okay. And how can you get this content and MIME type? I just told you this particular OData parameter is media resource. So this will give you both the content and MIME type. So content, it will give you with a hyphen value, and MIME type means content type. It gives you with hyphen MIME type. Okay. So now you insert your table from the local structure over. Understood? So that is how your
Profile tab
OData.
is a database table.
Pardon?
Z profile underscore tab is a database table.
Yes. So we created that table, right? Yes, that's a database table. Okay, so that's how the data will come and sit in your table, right? So this is your file upload. Now let's see the reverse, that is file download. So how the file download will happen. So in the file download also, your OData framework will help you a lot. Okay, so you are doing very less thing actually. So that's how any OData layer will be designed. OData framework will be designed. Can you please go on mute? I'm getting some background noise. Yeah, thank you. And get string. So I'm just redefining the get string. So again, let us understand the concept of get stream. So how the get stream will work. So get stream means you are downloading the file. Okay. So whatever the file that you want to download. So for example, I want to download, let's say I uploaded a PDF. Okay. I want to download my PDF. So within the round bracket, so you will be sending the primary key EMP001. You will send this EMP001. So once you send this EMP001, so this will reach your get stream in the IT key tab, which you already know. Okay, so this EMP001 so will reach your gateway layer in the IT key tab. So why this is required? First of all, you need to identify the record, okay, in which your file is there. So in our database table, so we already have our database table Z profile tab with 4 columns. Column 1, column 2, column 3 and 4. Okay, so this is your employee ID. So what is this one? Your file name. This is your file type. And this is your file content, which will be stored in the binary format. Okay, so I uploaded for employee 001. Now, during the file download, what should happen? So whatever that you stored in this particular record, okay, this particular content has to be sent to the front end. So how can you send this content to the front end? The concept is, first, during the download, when the user click the download button, so this URL you will trigger from the front end. Okay, so this employee ID will reach the gateway layer in the IT key tab. Okay, so you already have IT key tab here. So this is IT key tab. So in this IT key tab, you will go and read the employee ID. The moment you read the employee ID, so for the next immediate step you need to do is, you need to, by using the select query, read the record first. By using select query, read that particular record first. Okay. So what you will do, select single star from this particular table, Z profile tab, where employee ID equal to EMP001. So this will give you that particular record. Now, the next thing is, from this record, you need to point out to the content. Okay. So you need to point out to the content, and this content has to be sent to the front end. To send this content to the front end, you no need to do anything. There is a OData parameter. So there is a OData parameter. There is a OData parameter. I will tell you. So there is one OData parameter. So in this particular OData parameter, you need to keep the content as well as the file type. Okay. So these two, you just need to keep in that particular OData parameter, and you need to call a copy data to ref function. So that's it. The sending of this binary string, that is the sending of the file content, which is a binary string to the front end, will automatically done. Okay, and in the front end you can see, it starts downloading bit by bit, bit by bit. Okay, so from the browser, whenever you download something, so it will be downloading, right? So it shows those downloading progress, so everything. Okay, so very simple. So I'm just repeating once again. So read this primary key in your gateway layer from IT key tab and identify the record. So once you identify the record, so from this record you need to take only the file type and file content and keep these two in that OData parameter, and that's it. So the OData parameter will send the data to the front end. So with an additional function called copy data to ref. So same function which we have seen in the last class. Okay. So this is the concept. Now let us write this one. Okay, so don't see the data declaration, that automatically you will understand. That's not a big thing. So read table IT key tab into LS key tab with key name equal to employee ID. So what is our key employee ID? So just make sure it is having the same case also. Capital letters, small letters also should be same, right? Next, select single star from the table. So into LS file data. So I already told you where employee ID equal to LS key tab hyphen value. Now you got your single record as I have shown you in the table. So you are pointing to this particular record. Okay. Now what you need to do, from this record, take out file type and content and keep it in your OData parameter. So so you are pointing ls file data hyphen mime type, ls file data and hyphen content. So these two are nothing but from your work area you are pointing these two. Okay, so you have read the table record and kept in the work area actually. So that work area is nothing but your ls file data. You can see select single star from this table into ls file data. So you already kept it in the ls file data. So from the ls file data you need to take out mime type and content and keep it in a predefined variable called ls stream. So ls stream hyphen mime type, ls stream hyphen value. So this ls stream should be a media resource actually, which is a type given by your OData framework. Okay, You just need to keep these values in this ls stream and pass that particular ls stream in this copy data to ref function. So you need to pass it, and then this will automatically converts into a ER stream. So once it reaches ER stream, it will throw this file to the front end as a response. Okay, and in the front end you can see it starts downloading bit by bit, bit by bit, bit by bit. Okay, so it's the same function, guys, copy data to ref, that we used in our last class. Okay, so your job is in this function, you need to copy your ls string, keep it here, that's it. Okay, so the rest of the job will be done by your OData framework. Okay, so this is how you need to do your file download. Now, so I'm just, Prasad, whatever you asked to keep the debug point, I will just show you this one. So this is products at get entity. Okay, so let me save this. Let me go to the disable. Okay, so I'm just keeping an external debug point here. So I'll keep it here. It's inactive. Why it is inactive?
In edit mode, it will set the breakpoint.
No, it is not active, but I did not change anything here, right? Why it went to inactive? Did I come into this method, Prasad? Don't remember actually. Okay. So anyway, I just sent, put an external debug point, and actually I'm writing mobile here. See, it is not going to your backend itself. Prasad, actually, just for I remember your question and just want to show
because
you.
This one is different, right? This is profile set.
Sorry. Okay. Let me try.
It will go, but select query will fail. That's it. See, it goes, but it reads the PRD ID and it fails. So that means no record fetched from the database.
Let me execute this. Resource not found for the segment products. Yeah, so it is saying exactly. no products.
Yeah, because the select query fails.
Yeah.
That is expected, yeah. But I'm surprised that don't we have a SAP UI standard functionality for file upload and download? Like I see like file uploader, one of the unified package. So can't we use that one? We are writing so much code in the backend. It's a front end activity, right? Basically, you are trying to upload a file from your desktop. It's a front end activity. SAP UI can handle it easily, doesn't it?
See, SAP UI5 will browse that file and send it to the backend. Okay. And in the backend, you should take the data, it will send in a binary format. And in the backend, there should be someone to handle, receive the data and store it in the table. It won't happen everything. See, take your create product incident itself. Take the create product scenario itself. From the front end, your job is to send the data of the product. Okay. And in the backend, you need to write the logic to receive the data and store it in the table. So without the backend logic, how can you, store that in the table? You tell me.
So you're saying SAP UFI sends binary format.
Yes.
Okay, but now this is a X string. Where is the conversion going to happen?
See, the SAP UI5 will automatically send that in the required format to OData. Okay.
What format? Is it? That's what I'm saying. Is it X string or like
X string value? Only. Yeah.
So basically, the OData, the functionality is to read the X string and keep it somewhere. That's it.
Exactly. Whatever we have written now, okay, that is the functionality of OData. So actually, what I am saying is, not only this one, okay, not only file upload and download. The front end job is to send the data, and your backend should, there should be a logic which can read the data and store it in the table. So not only for file upload download, even if you see your create product scenario, what you are doing from the front end, you are just sending the data, and in the back end you are reading it and storing in the table, right? So without the back end, how the front end directly store the data in the table? That is not possible. Okay.
What I'm saying is, now we created some table, right? Okay. Okay. Let me think over.
Okay, fine, yes. But Prasad, actually, whatever the question you asked in the beginning of the class, that still I don't understand actually.
Okay, I got it. What you're
So
saying. Basically, ODATA only reads the primary key. See, this fails because it reads that IKP tab is equal to PRD ID. So that fails. But if at all you want to make my own query, then I can read that, and then I can create a dynamic select query. Based on that, I can pass back some value. I can do that. That's not a big deal. Yep, understand.
You can use question mark dollar filter actually. Okay.
Filter, yeah, that goes to result set, right? But yeah, I got that answer. Okay, I can do in the behind the scenes. Yeah, I can do that. But the file upload only, because this is already.
Okay, you think on that, and then if you have any query, you can call me or mail me. Okay. Okay, fine, guys. In the next class, so we'll go back to the front end. First, we'll do the connection setup between the front end and back end through a software called HANA Cloud Connector. Okay, so tomorrow's class is very important. If you don't understand, you cannot develop a end-to-end application. Okay, so that connection, how we will be establishing between the front end and back end, you need to understand. Okay, so there are some steps which you need to follow. So if you follow those steps, then you can also work on the front end-to-end application development in UI5. You need to call institute for the server access. Okay, so go and call the server institute saying that we came to OData and we need the server access. So without the server access, you can't proceed. Okay, so that is one thing. So yeah, that's what we are going to see in the tomorrow's class. So you will get a connection from web IDE to this particular server, SAP gateway system. Okay.
Here we are not seeing the output. We have written the code, but we are not seeing the output.
Yeah, that's what I told you. The file upload download, we'll test it directly from the front end. Okay. We'll upload a file, and at that time I will show you. We'll download the file also. Okay.
Okay. What is set as content type in the create stream? Sorry.
Come again with your question.
What is set as content type in the create stream?
In the create stream, there is no set as content type method. It is in the model provider class, MPC extension class. It is not there. I don't know who is asking this question. Is it Lalit or?
Yes.
So don't get confused. We have written here set as content type. Okay, it is model provider extension class.
What it is.
So basically, the set as content type, the content type is required for the OData layer. Okay. So this is a mandatory property, and that property has to be set compulsory. So that property is needed by the gateway layer, because when you are uploading the file from the front end, see, if you observe, these two fields are sent in the IV slug parameter. The content is sent, and it will be, the content is sent in the binary format. And this MIME type means file type, how it is getting automatically. So this particular MIME type, since you have set like this is the property as content type, so it will uh, take that content type automatically. So that's why you need to set that as a content type. So for these two fields, you are sending through the slug parameter. And what about the content is already automatically going like a binary string to the OData framework. Now the left out field is MIME type. So this has to be set explicitly as set content type. Then your OData, pull not only the file content, but also its content type. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So any pending videos, guys? So I think I have sent the videos.
I have a question.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah, Lalit, go ahead.
Get entity set. I have a doubt. I have gone through one of the video. Get entity set of product set underscore get entity set.
Okay. So you already told me that you did not understand the class. Okay, and understand the code.
Gone through the code, but I have one doubt in that in one statement.
So I told you, like, you call me, I will explain line to line actually.
I have,
So I asked you to call so that I explain, each and every line actually. So I told you, but you did not make me a call.
don't have the number.
Okay. So I'm providing the number. You call me, I will explain every line in that code.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello. Hello, this one.
Yeah, Subbu.
What purpose are using thing and media checkboxes?
Yeah, so if you until unless you check that entity as media, so the entity will not have eligibility uh, to send some media related, means you are uploading files, right, through that particular entity.
Yeah.
So to get that eligibility for that entity, you need to check that checkbox as media. If you don't check that checkbox as media, so first thing what happens is when you upload the file, it won't go to the gateway layer. Okay, until unless you check that checkbox. Got
And
it?
thing related?
Same
Thing.
purpose
Same
basically.
thing.
Both are with the same
Same
purpose. Yeah.
purpose. Okay. Suppose you don't uncheck, media files are not uploaded. Same, right?
Yeah, not uploaded.
Okay. Any JPG files and audio files, video files are same. Huh?
Yeah, anything is same. In UI5, not supported for audio video files, only file documents actually. You can't upload audio and video files
Okay.
from the front end. Okay, that is not yet supported.
Only JPG format and Word and PDF formats.
Word, PDF, Excel, PPT, anything, document. Okay.
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 Thank you.
Yeah, fine guys. So we'll meet in tomorrow's class. So enjoy your Sunday. Bye bye.